who's honest and upfront. No hidden costs or fees, and owning the rights to my own work.
Christian Faith Publishing will publish, market, and sell your books in all major bookstores, online booksellers, as well as specialty Christian bookstores. Call for your free author submission kit.
800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. That's 800-978-4812.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395.
Here's important new information from the Diabetes Solution Center for you, a family member, or a loved one suffering with diabetes. If you have lost your provider, or if you need a provider for diabetic supplies, you may qualify to receive your diabetic testing supplies now with little or no out-of-pocket cost, regardless of your age. All you need is Medicare or private insurance to be potentially eligible. Call the Diabetes Solution Center right now for details. Just takes a couple of minutes. Our friendly, knowledgeable agents will give you free, no-obligation information, handle all the insurance paperwork, and make sure your supplies are delivered directly to your door for free.
Call U.S. Medical Supply 24 hours a day. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. 800-597-9323. Call right now. 800-597-9323.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395.
You're listening to Joco Community Radio.
Morning.
Hello, welcome. You guys hear me?
Good morning. I don't think you guys can hear me yet, can you?
I can hear you. Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Welcome everybody to the Jobfather Community Radio Show. We are having a wonderful, wonderful Friday. I hope you guys are as well. I'm Mez. I'm going to be substituting for Miss Lovely Dana. Hopefully she is blessed and doing well. But before we get going with our fabulous show, let me just tell you who is sponsoring us. Joco Community Radio is proud to be the voice of Johnson County. Texas is live 365 on TuneIn Radio Network. Please listen or watch tuneinjoco.com. You can also get the radio app on iOS devices and Android. So please check that out on your device. Download, subscribe, and like is extremely important. This episode and more is brought to you by Patriot Claims, making insurance work for you. Reach out to our Texas sales rep, Nona Reed, at 844-839-4245. So with that being said, Foster, take the wheel.
Oh, man. You guys are going to give me the steering wheel of this thing?
I hope
Okay. I've got an inquiry. I got a ask before we even get started with our prayer. We always start with prayer, guys, because we all know who's going to get us this job, and we need to get used to asking for things along the way. We start by small things like this. Okay, so guys, I want you guys to go, all the listeners, I want you guys to go to LinkedIn, find Joco Community Radio, and I want you guys to like and follow, and that will help us here. Go to LinkedIn, again, go to Joco Community Radio, find it, put it in there in the little search thing, and like and follow us. We're cool here. What we try to do, me and Maz and Dana and all of our guests that we have on the show, guys, we try our best to let job seekers know what they need to be cognizant of while you're in the job search, and might speed up your job search. You need to meet the right people, the right companies, and all that stuff along the way to make the best decision that you can make in your job search. Okay, real quick, guys, let's go to God and ask him. Okay, Father, we are here. We don't know where next is, but you do. You already do. So we're coming to you and we're asking you to help us and help us expeditiously. That's my big word for today. And Father, it's kind of crazy when we don't have a job because it affects so many things. So we're asking that you help us, and we know that you will. We know that one. So thank you in advance in Jesus' name. All right.
Amen.
Okay, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Look there. Look at who we got. We've got Daniel, and we're doing good. We're going to talk to Daniel and Angela today. Angela, guys, is a product manager. We're going to talk about what that is. We're going to talk about why you guys should know that Angela is ready to go and be hired right now. And she's going to help us understand what a product manager is. Okay. But before that, we want to celebrate some landings in the network. Yeah. We need to have a little music chime or something when we go to landings. So, guys, we want to congratulate Brett McDougall. He is a project manager, and he's now at Beyond Edge. Beyond Edge. So, Brett, congratulations, sir. And we want to also down in Conroe, our network, guys, is all across the United States and actually the world, to be honest with you. So, I know I'm hearing music. That kind of threw me off. That's cool, though. It sounds cool. I'm gonna start dancing. Oh, man. So Jennifer Cross down in Conroe, guys. She's a caterer. She is a chef, and so
it's your celebration music. You were just asking.
There we go. Nice.
Nice.
We're on to something now. We got
there we go.
Tiffany, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm leaving now. Goodbye.
Bye. Shout out to Tiff. She makes this all happen.
Tiff makes this happen. So great. Jennifer, guys, is starting. She's a catering, but she just started her own catering business at Wildflower down in Conroe. Now we're going to skip all the way out to, I think, and let me know, Esther, if I get this right. If I don't get this right, but you're in Portsmouth, Nigeria.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know. I think Julius Kolawale probably told her about us, and that's why she's in our network. But Esther, you're still in the network. We know you got a job, but you're still in the network. You don't get away from Foster and Maz. So,
nope.
So Esther Ofuru is a data analyst, just like Julius, our buddy Julius, from the same place, and she is at Mariskill. She's starting her career. She's a little bit younger than Foster and Maz, and she's starting her career at Mariskill. They're in Portsmouth, Nigeria. So congratulations, Esther. All right, now let's talk about our guest, Daniel Eubanks. So Daniel and I have been friends for a while. You guys have seen our picture. You guys have met us. The ones of you guys that have been to the Meet the Recruiter event. We had one last week, and Daniel is representative of. It was this week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to correct, but
no, correct. Please correct me. That's how this network has been built, because I listen to you guys. That's how it works. So, guys, Daniel works for Matrix Resources, and he's one of the leaders over there, talent acquisition leaders. And you know what? We need to know all about Matrix, because we've had a relationship with Matrix. Oh my God, since the beginning of this network back in probably 1996. I know that predates your time there, Daniel, but
there are people at over our company that have been there since 96.
Absolutely. So, guys, hey, I see Veronica Tatum is with us. Hey, Veronica, and my main man, 50 grand, Eugene Clay, is with us. Appreciate you guys being there with us, and there's many other people that are there, but given time restraints, we want to go back to Daniel. And Daniel, tell us a little bit about Matrix. Tell us a little bit what Matrix does. What do you think?
Well, I've got an update for you. We've got a new name.
Yeah.
It's a good segue though.
It is.
We have been around in the business for quite some time. Definitely have a local presence here in Dallas. But 2 years ago, we were acquired, and we are just in the works of the official name change to Motion Recruitment. They're based out of Boston, Massachusetts. A lot of positives. Just real quick on it. They are similar size to us. We're about a little bit over 300 million in revenue for 2021, and they were around that same figure. They're more in the full-time direct hire business, and we are more historically speaking in the contract business. So the synergies are there, but we're going to be under the Motion umbrella going forward. We are on the same instance now in the ATS, and what that really means is we doubled in size. We jumped to number 15 in the U.S.-based staffing companies, so that means more opportunities, more recruiters, more sales folks, and we're excited about it for sure. But I've got about 12 years of IT recruitment experience. I've been with Matrix Motion now for the last 2 years as the manager of the central region. So I've got 19 recruiters that I'm responsible for. But it's been great. I mean, as far as, I've been with two other companies in my 12 years of IT staffing, and there's nobody better, no company better, in my opinion, just with the culture that we've got, that we've had, that we are still going to have going forward. Because a lot of our recruiters, I could say the vast majority treat every single conversation as not a transaction, but more or less a conversation and getting to know. Because it's not every phone call is going to end with a submission. Not every conversation is going to land you that specific position, unfortunately. But it kind of just starts the process of getting to know you better, because that part of the battle is not just knowing your technical skill set for this type of industry, but it's the personality, and we've got employers these days that are extremely, I could say, picky. They've always kind of tried to replace 3 or 4 people with one person. But now it's now it's not just on paper. Now it's not just the interview. I mean, you've got to have every single tangible that they're after. And then there's also the uncertainty, with just kind of the economy of it could still kind of fall through at the very end. And it's very, I don't want to say demoralizing, but I mean, it's hard, when know that you're good.
It's heartbreaking.
It really is.
It's the truth. It's heartbreaking. Like companies don't.
Right. You can only go through so many of those, continually, to where, as long as you're learning from every interview, and here's the struggle with my job, and I think going forward it's going to be a struggle, is really the lack of feedback and the lack of real information that a person can take with them and learn from. So many times, and I know we'll probably have a conversation later about it, but so many times, candidates are stuck with in a lurch with not knowing what they did wrong or if they could have done better, because they're not provided that feedback, and they're just kind of left to assume, unfortunately. And a lot of times it's on the recruiter, and a lot of times on the client, but really both of them are involved in that process. So it's difficult right now. Difficult for recruiters, for people to get a job. So it's you just kind of have to adapt to the industry and know that your job more or less is just as much as a career coach and just trying to make sure that they're understanding that it's not them, as it is with a transaction of trying to get them over to a client.
That's a really good point, Daniel. And I want you job seekers to hear that the better recruiters are the ones that care, the ones that give you that, a little bit more than just the mechanical part of job search. I want you guys to connect with Daniel. His last name is Eubanks, but I want you guys to know about his company. Now, I don't want to steal Jason's stuff. I mean, Jason, I don't want to steal
Who's
Daniel's.
Jason?
I saw Jason Hopper. Hey, Jason.
Like he's already forgotten my name.
I want you guys to understand why we've had such a long-standing relationship. There's my word. I'm getting close to the screen, Dana, in case you're looking. There you go. There you go. See how creepy it looks right there with Mel?
Beautiful face.
Don't judge me.
But we've been in a relationship with Matrix. Oh, I've got to go to Motion now. Is that?
It's okay. I mean, if now you know the struggle, the daily struggle that I'm going to have. At least I tell everybody that at least it starts with an M. That's probably good and bad.
Yeah.
You're going to probably mess it up more, but it's an easy transition. But
See,
no, it's fine. We can
Motion.
still talk Matrix. I saw Matrix email, so we're still Matrix right now.
Still Matrix. Still got the Matrix email, so I'm going to say Matrix until I get Motion in my head.
Yeah.
But guys,
You
we
have
build relationships with those guys for a reason. I have known those guys for a long time. There are Mez and I, Dana. We've got a 50,000-foot view of job search, and we get to see who gets treated the best, what companies are active out there. A lot of companies, a lot of people that I help you guys land a job in. You guys tell me who are the best vendors, and we constantly hear Matrix. We're going to start hearing Motion once that gets in Foster's head. But this is why, guys. You hear us talk about Thomas Edwards Group. You hear us talk about.
I love them.
Oh my goodness, I know. You hear us talk about a lot of Matrix. You guys hear us talk about, but that's why. So I want you guys to know who's going to treat you the best. Yeah, we may not have something for right now, but hey, build that relationship so that when something pops up, hey, you have a relationship somewhere, and you can go to Daniel, or you can go to Pam, or you can go to John, or a number of these people. Matt, we can't forget. Hey, Matt, what's going on? I hope you're feeling better, buddy. And this is what this network is made of. We take care of each other. That's what we do.
For sure. Just like to piggyback off that, it's not that Matrix or Motion has a secret that they've uncovered that not every other staffing firm has uncovered yet. It's really just ingrained with the people, and the people that have been here at Motion, Matrix. I'm going to say that every time now. They've got long-standing tenure. I mean, our average tenure for an employee, I think, is around 13 to 14 years, believe it or not, because
that's great.
Because we've got so many people that are at the 28, 29, 30-year mark. So if you've got good people with an organization and those people stay at that organization, you're obviously going to have a correlation with good customer service if those are good people and good recruiters and good salespeople. So that's the main reason. It's not we do everything a normal IT staffing company would do, maybe a little bit more specialized now that we've got another company involved. But as far as giving you a realistic expectation of what's out there, with also just a positive affirmation that we're going to work hard for you. Sometimes that's what you need in the moment, and as long as that person is organized, recruiter, and keeping people either with a vice lock grip of a memory, or they're organized, you're going to be able to get reached out to a lot and stay in touch with. And sometimes it might not even be that recruiter or Matrix that places you, but we're going to stay in touch with you along the way.
There it is, right there. Yeah,
and that's the biggest thing. I mean, it's the human element is being limited a lot in this job search, and we're trying to add that back in as best we can.
So Daniel, tell me real quick, what job opportunities, what kind of people, what kind of companies are you working for, and what does Motion bring in? Are they adding any more dynamic to this struggling? Because IT's been hit hard lately.
Yeah, it really has, and really, since I've been doing this, it's probably the first time that IT's really been hit with a long-standing gap of just not a lot of production being done, a lot of overhiring, overpaying. Obviously, when COVID was kind of out, off the radar, So it's we understand it as professionals, and we understand that there's peaks and valleys with everything.
Right.
But this one's a little bit different to navigate, even as recruiters. And so I would say that the opportunities that we're seeing and the clients that we work with, financial services has always been a big industry for us, but obviously with Wells Fargo and Cap One, with a lot of the layoffs that have happened, that we've had to reshift our focus and our staffing arm of where are we best suited with this type of market. And I think the bread and butter of our business, at least with Motion, or let's say Matrix in this conversation, has been the mid-size to larger organizations, not necessarily the big enterprise environment clients that have dedicated resources. So we've got a recruiting staff that focuses on that partnership angle. I'm so sorry. I knew when I took my AirPods out, the dogs were going to bark.
That's fine. They got something to say, man. They're part of it. Come on now.
But we work with every type of industry, and we're even dabbling outside of IT right now, just because.
Nice.
I was going to ask that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've always. Don't get me wrong. Like, it is different. Like your decision making is different with the economies and the ever changing pace of, like, if you're super busy and we know it's a small tight candidate window, you can kind of pass off jobs, or you don't have to necessarily accept them. Or you can really be strategic and say, this is, we can't get this, but we're not going to work it. I'm not saying that always happens, but that's how you have to be, because you can't just accept everything. You want to deliver.
That's right.
Now we're in a spot where we're dabbling, because we see the lower volume. And so we see, there's not as many opportunities, to give with Angela, like product management. Like at one point 6 months ago, we had over 25 different product manager positions within the central region. Region is Des Moines through Minnesota, through Houston, Chicago, and Dallas. Now we've got 3 that are open. So
that's significant.
Yeah, it is significant, and it's it could, but it's all perception. You know what I mean? And you can look at that as a challenge and just an absolute negative, or you can look at that as an opportunity. And understand that maybe we need the skill sets are shifting a little bit. Maybe that the product management is not as popular with the clients that we have right now, or how do we change that? As recruiters, we've with Matrix, it's always been a very big job volume. So we've been able to kind of, I don't want to say cherry pick, but you're able to sell multiple opportunities to one given individual, and that's great conversation. Obviously,
that's true.
Now,
so what are you looking for right now? Like, practically, I'm sorry, I'm an
that's good.
What are you? How can we help you? How can this community help you? What do we need to do to get in contact with you? And what job opportunities do you have? What are you looking for? What's the top of the heap right now, if you will?
For sure.
The website hadn't changed. Is it still Matrix?
Still Matrix.
The what?
The website hadn't changed. Is it still Matrix Resources?
Yes, I mean it has changed. So I'm gonna have to send it out.
To
you, but we're in the process.
Put it in the chat. Our chat.
I will, and I'll send you the top 10 skill sets kind of that we're after. But application development has always been big for us.
Yeah.
Product management, project management, specialized positions. I mean, it's hard to explain. I don't have enough time to explain the specialized positions. Emphasis on the specialized skills. It's very, very difficult. It's very challenging. It helps as a recruiter if you have that, because you know exactly where to go. But it's hard to find that individual. It's hard to bring them on board, all that kind of good stuff. So there's positives and negatives to it. As far as getting in touch with me, like I said, I am at the management level as far as like not day to day on the phone with candidates every day, but I still make time every single day to talk with people. And if I can't get to you, I'll make sure to get you over to one of our.
19 people underneath you. Dear God, you don't have a second to breathe. Why couldn't you do 19 fucking people? Are you kidding me? No.
It's a daily challenge to keep them not necessarily motivated. They're all motivated, but to keep them full. They're always hungry. So I definitely want to get them in touch with as many candidates on the market, and candidates that just want to have a conversation. Like I said, we can start this from day one. we can, and we're not going to force the issue by any means. You know, if you don't want the position, we understand. But we want to be here for when you do. And I know a lot of people on this program are at that point. So we want to help you as quickly as possible.
And job seekers out there, if you know somebody in IT and you're not in IT, you reach out to Daniel.
For sure. I would love to be a resource for anything that job related. I mean, I don't care if it's a warehouse worker or a chef or a professional athlete. I think I can at least give you some general advice to where it'll help you in your job search and on interviews. Anything that is involved with that. I hope to help, and I would love to help.
And that attitude is what we want. And guys, when we are connecting with people that are going to supposedly help us, that's what we want. That's the attitude that we want. You guys always ask me, Foster, who are the best recruiters out there? And I can point towards Daniel. I can point towards his company. When I was the gatekeeper for some of those big old companies I worked for, and I worked for some, for those Fortune 10 companies, the people that reached out and went above and beyond the call of duty there, we were able to see how they serviced us. And a lot of times we would ask them, hey, Daniel, do you guys ever hire for any HR people, or because I've got my HR department and I need an HR BP, or I might need a project manager, or, well, of course, technical project manager is part of what they do, but another department, when we have that kind of relationship, those are the people that we're going to ask. And I'm sure you guys are going to run into that with Motion, because they focus more on the full-time spectrum. Right. Yeah. I think
and I was asked that question. I'm so sorry. The kind of the main differences, or what Motion's going to provide, is I kind of talked about it a little bit earlier about just the synergies of their business being a business that we don't necessarily focus in as much, and vice versa. And so I think that it's going to be good to have an organization that was established around the same time as Matrix was, and they built their business on full desk recruitment and recruiting, and then sales was second.
Yeah, they did.
Our organization was based on sales, and recruiting was second. So again, it's a shift in mentality, but I think it's with relationships, it's a yin and yang. This is a yin and yang kind of situation, and I see it working. Of course, I have to tell myself that, but I really do believe it.
Yeah, we see it with you guys. Absolutely. I've been around you guys for a long time. We won't talk about how long, but been around you guys a long time. And Daniel, we really, really appreciate you joining us today.
Well, I want to say thank you to you too. I mean, the same thing I say to Craig every meeting. I mean, what you do for everybody, not necessarily just for your job, but like out of the kindness of your heart. I mean, I'm an observant person, but you don't even have to be that observant to understand that you're really good people. And I think
you hear that, man?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we do. And Mez is the same. We try to round up people that care a little bit more than the X's and O's and the money. Corporate America is a money game. We all understand that. It is not always the best for interpersonal relationships and what we're doing with our families and things like that. But guys, if we stick together and network and build relationships, we can get through this thing, because there are good people like Daniel out there, like Pam. Hey, Pam. And, I can go on and on and on, because I've been around those guys for a long time. But we really, really do appreciate you coming. Now, each and every month, guys, we have a Meet the Recruiter event. Daniel is usually there. You guys will see it advertised all over LinkedIn. And so, hey, when you get a chance, come out and visit with us. We're getting a bigger venue for our coming events. So we won't run out of space, y'all, is what I'm trying to say.
That's right.
We've been blessed that it's been very popular, and we have been running out of space. And so we're not going to be doing that.
Which is a good and bad problem to have.
Man.
We want to help as many people as possible. I put some links in the YouTube chat, people. So search for you is Foster. We're running out of time, but search for you is Foster. We have Frisco Connect. I hear music. Don't go away. We'll be back with our lovely Angela. Yes, we'll be back. Don't go anywhere. Thank you.
Let's be honest. Wheelchairs are heavy, bulky, and ugly. If you carry a wheelchair in your car to take care of a loved one, you know how hard it is getting that clunky, old-style wheelchair in and out of your car. Introducing the Feather Chair Wheelchair. At 13 pounds, it's the world's lightest wheelchair. It folds in seconds and fits neatly in your trunk, backseat, or closet, so you can take it everywhere. And it's only available right here. Order yours today and get a free wheelchair case, a $50 value, yours free. The Feather Chair, the world's lightest wheelchair, is just $4.99 with easy payments as low as $16 a month. Sorry, no Medicare or insurance accepted. So call right now to order yours.
800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. That's 800-823-5826.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395. 800-709-4395.
Joco Community Radio. Listen live at tunein.com.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back on this lovely, lovely Friday. Hope everybody's doing well. We had an amazing first half of the show with our lovely Daniel. Thank you so much. If you want to hang out, please, we would love your input too. But now, Foster is going to introduce Miss Angela. So,
That's
Foster,
right.
take it away.
That lady over there is Angela Terry, and she is a product manager. And you guys, she is available right now for a job opportunity. You don't have to wait for a 2 weeks notice, or I even heard of some companies requiring a 3-week notice when you're leaving the property. And Angela's ready to go right now. Angela's a product manager. So Angela, tell us what a product manager is, because I don't believe everybody listening even knows. You're a project manager, that makes sense, but what's a product manager?
Yeah, so I first of all, thank you for having me. What a privilege and honor it is to be invited. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I have been in product management for about 8 years now, and it kind of was not really much of a thing when I learned about it. When I got into it, I was kind of already doing it before I even knew it existed. And so I think it's funny that you say you do hear project management. I try to emphasize the D, and people will still just go straight to project management. It's got definitely characteristics for project management, but as a product manager, you have the opportunity to own whatever the product is. It can be an entire e-commerce website. It could be a part of an e-commerce website, like just the search experience or the checkout experience. It could be the engine that runs all of the e-commerce website. So a lot of people will refer to that as a platform team. So the technical guts of and you have the opportunity to kind of analyze the data, the customer's experience, how do they like it, and then take that and be the ultimate problem solver with your engineering team and your designers. A good product manager cannot be a good product manager without data and their team. And it's not even their team. You're all one. You're moving together for the same goal. And I love it because I love to problem solve. My top strengths finder is restorative. My words is problem solving. And so I love it, and it's a lot of fun, and it's about winning over the customer, whoever that customer is. It can be an internal customer, it can be an external customer. It's just learning who your customer is, learning what their needs are, and then providing for them. And I get a lot of joy out of that. I have a lot of passion for it.
So what is your next joyride going to look like? Tell us how we can hear. We have a lot of recruiters listening. We have Daniel listening, no pressure. And what are you looking for right now?
Yeah, well, I am looking for, this is a really great question. And I've had the opportunity for the last few weeks to really figure that out. And I really am looking for a home. I think that's my first priority. I kind of have come up with this analogy in my head is I don't want to rent a house. I want to buy a house. I'm looking for a home somewhere where I'm so passionate about the work that I do and the products that I do them for that I go all in. I become a subject matter expert. I want to know the ins, the outs, everything in between, so I can be more prepared and qualified to solve those problems. And that takes dedication. And I don't want to do that temporarily. I want to do that for somebody where I can really become the owner of that product. So that's my first requirement is like, I'm looking for a home, and a home is something that is going to have a great culture. They're going to have a work-life balance there. I'm going to give so much of myself that the times that I need to walk away and kind of handle life, I need that support. And I want a challenging and fun environment where people are thriving on learning, and they're thriving on producing great results for the customer. And I want people that are also enjoying it as much as I am.
Right. You don't want to be dragging that dead horse like, okay, we have great ideas over here, but
we can't get to our goal fast enough. We're dragging everybody.
Right. Exactly. And I want to be able to really solve the customer's problems in a way that's going to solve their problems. There is a way in product management to take a customer's problem and the business needs and goals, and they can both live. So, and I think that's a challenge as a product manager sometimes, is to take what the business needs, because we're so close to the customer and the business. We can really advocate for both sides.
So you're the liaison. So what industries are you looking for? Are you in IT? What do you want to do? Like manufacturing? Do you want to do, what do you want to do?
It's also another really great question that I've been thinking a lot about. I've always kind of considered myself, because I have a lot of Agile training. I took an organization through an entire Agile transformation. I have the product manager in the Agile world down. With humility, I say it, but I have it down really well. And
you know what you know. Be proud of it. Don't be shy.
No, you've been in that house.
You got those peacock feathers.
Yep. I can take that in a lot of places because that goes with me. It's in my heart. And then I also have a passion to learn. So that allows me to be really versatile in all of the different industries and pick up really fast what is the product that you're wanting me to own. So I really feel like I can fit in a lot of different options.
But
which ones do you like?
Right. Or are you mobile? Like
maybe the ones that you've already experienced with. I don't know, but it's a good question to ask.
Yeah, it is. Some of the product manager roles that I've had, I've really done the mobile app desktop as one. So but there's larger companies that have a larger product organization. They really do separate that out for different product manager roles. So that's really exciting to be able to focus on one, because then you really become an expert in those. I have a passion, and I love working with the tools and the technology really close to the engineers. So I think if I had to choose, I just had this conversation with somebody that I met this morning, and I was telling him it's really 50-50 split for me. I really like both experiences as far as directly the customer facing solutions, but I also really like the technical, the guts and the drive of what makes everything work. I probably, if I had to pick, I would lean more toward the technical piece, because I really love working with the engineers. I've worked with some really amazing developers and technical minds. I learned so much. They're so supportive. So I think I'd lean more towards that way if I had to pick, and it'd be like 60-40, because they're both really fun, really challenging, and very different.
If you like that techie part of it, absolutely, to get you involved. So, Angela, you explained a product manager in a way that kind of clicked in my brain, because I've hired product managers before, but I can't say that I really truly understood the difference between the two, project manager, product manager kind of thing. But this is how we recruiters learn, you guys. We ask questions. So
that
I
was one
would
of the best
imagine,
answers I've ever heard for product
Oh,
management.
I really
know
did
that
like
was,
it.
yeah, it really was
it's kind
good.
of a running joke with product managers. We'll sit in a room together and we'll say, "What do you say when somebody says, 'What do you do?'" And you're like, I don't know." So I've
Well,
thought
I
a
put
lot
something
about
in the
it.
chat that you guys are gonna laugh at, but this is the best way I can think of explaining a product manager, and I love my product managers that I work with. So
yeah.
Yep.
Well, I like the
Great.
fact that we can simplify it a little bit and just say the product managers are working a lot more with the actual end client or the customer versus
Uh-huh.
the internal projects teams. And I like that just with, a basic type of overview. I think that's really where I would gravitate towards my conversation, at least, of knowing, because you can go, at least from my experience, project management to product management. You can, and some do product management to project management, but it's good to know that what you want to do and what you have more experience with. And that's a good way to look at it. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I see that whole picture kind of thing, that you are customizing the product that that a lot of times the clients are buying from the company. Hey, we went out here and sold you this wonderful thing. Now, how does it work? How do you know? Yeah. We spent all this money on this applicant tracking system. Yeah, I'm just thinking about being a recruiter. So,
recruiter.
how does it work for what we needed to do? What the performance of the thing. So, Angela, am I hitting on kind of that overview of what that product is? And then once you get it to a certain point of functionality, you probably can turn it over to marketing folks and say, hey, this is what we do, and there's nobody in the industry that does this as good as we do, and this is our product. This is what y'all need to be buying. Is that the way it
Yes.
works?
Yeah, and actually, I feel like being in this industry for as long as I've been, I feel like there's this new emerging title that's coming up that people might start seeing. It's called a product marketing manager.
Oh,
So
Ooh, I like it.
in my experience, the product manager will work with marketing once they've kind of have a feature they want to promote, and
makes sense.
marketing, I'll start to hand off whatever that feature is to an email marketer or somebody that can actually market that product. Well, now we're starting to see this this new role that I'm starting to see, product marketing manager, and it's somebody that is like, I've looked at it. Do I want to get into product marketing manager? Do I like working more on the implementation and the execution of the actual item, or do I like taking it and then marketing it? And so that's what I'm starting to see more of this.
It is so important. I'm so glad you brought this up, because the biggest struggle that I see with
Mez is a product manager.
I'm a project and product manager. So I'm my family.
We'll be connecting.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, and you guys should, absolutely.
So important that marketing and sales that don't know the ins and outs of this particular product, that's your baby, right? Like, what it can do, what it can't do. But sometimes when you're talking to a client or they're talking to a client, they can do wishes and dreams all they want, but then when they finally sign on the dotted lines, you told them what now? We can't do that. Or what, you didn't tell them about this. So it's so important to have that relationship with product managers and marketing and sales, but to combine the two roles, amazing. I love this idea. I haven't heard about this yet, so I love it.
That was a really good explanation of the product manager. Yeah, I agree with Daniel. Yep.
Yeah. It's a new role I'm starting to see kind of pop up, because I'm looking. So I'm seeing it. I'm like making the decisions of, is that do I want to lean more toward a marketing role and selling it, or do I want to stay with the technical implementation? Because people are looking at them as two, depending on the posting, you're looking at them as either two different roles or one role in one. Whereas a product manager, to take on a marketing manager piece in addition to all of the product manager responsibilities, that's a lot, because there's a lot on a product manager's plate.
Oh, I can imagine. If you guys are wanting to build a certain functionality to grab a certain client, I would imagine, now you correct me if I'm wrong, I would imagine that you would work with the project managers to get that functionality built. That project manager is going to go in there and oversee whatever we got to do to get this product to do what this new client or a new market wants it to do.
Exactly. And then, Angela, tell me if I'm completely off kilter. I don't think you'll disagree, but it sounds like the life cycle of a product has ebbs and flows. So at one point in your career as like this, what was the title of it? The product marketer?
Oh, product
marketing
marketing manager. So just throw
Product
the word
market.
marketing in the middle.
Exactly. So you're going to have different life cycles of this particular product. So a new release coming out, you're going to be more on the technical side. And then once it's released, then you're going to lean more towards the marketing side. So it's going to be ebbs and flows. And depending on, like you said, what company or whatever that you're applying for or what they're envisioning, communication's key. Obviously, you have the skill set to do it. So I have no doubts. Like, Jesus, if this woman isn't hired, and like 45 seconds after the show, I can't help anybody. Like, sorry about the bad luck. But that's
Corporations, you
amazing.
want to hire people like Angela because she has a passion to do it, and she has that smile on her face that you see when you start talking about it. Those are the people that you're going to get more out of, rather than just somebody that's there clicking buttons and shifting levers. I'm totally, and I'm sure everybody knows by now, I'm totally on the intangible side of job search. What do you mean, Foster? Well, I'm talking about, yeah, we got a resume that shows us a lot of experience in the way that we're wanting somebody to come in and perform in our company. But what is that person like? Can you work with that person? Are they going to upset the whole apple cart of your team? You know, these are the intangible things that I think that probably Daniel's company likes that. Well, I've seen Daniel's company for years hire these kind of people because they hire them for the clients, but they hire them for Matrix itself. Now motion, guys.
Good, nice. Yeah, I agree. And I think just to I wanted to point out too on what was discussed about the kind of the addition of the marketing component. I think, at least in my opinion, it's too multifaceted. You've got the trend of trying to combine positions for sure, like correlated to like full stack development. They want to hire, one person to do a couple of different jobs. But it's also at the same component of that specialization that I keep on talking about. And, we see a lot of, I haven't seen a lot, but I see another trendy one is a customer success manager.
What the heck is that?
It's so hard to describe. Don't even.
Okay, sorry.
But it's on, it's a facet to, I would say product management to a sense of
I got
pleasing that customer that much. And knowing that has to be like a full-time job nowadays, that's why we're getting the customer success manager. And there's a lot of other, marketing and a lot of different functions of it, but that's the gist, in my opinion. It's just satisfying that customer at all times for your job.
Sounds like a story writer, Angela, doesn't it? Like a Scrum Master story writer.
A customer success manager, I think, is more, I feel like maybe more like customer service meets like account executive. They're the ones that's taking care of a customer, taking care of their problems, and also marketing and selling.
For sure.
Right.
Boy, it gets intricate, doesn't it? So a customer may do a certain thing and they want to do it as best they can. Some of what we were talking about with the product, well, that client that Angela has might have a certain area of expertise or whatever it is that they're looking to do to be the best at what they do because they have a certain product. Well, it's the same thing here. Managing that product to be the best impact that it can be, I think. I mean, I'm just talking.
But
yeah. Go ahead. I was looking at the chat.
Yeah. Go ahead.
There was a question in the chat that says, asked me what my favorite product manager position and why. And I think that it was definitely,
thanks, Jody.
It may have been also the team I was working with because they were pretty amazing. It was when I was a product manager of a platform team. I ran 3 different independent roadmap paths for DevOps, an architect, and a DBA. And we coordinated with the e-commerce website lead. She was the director of customer experience. She was over all the product teams that ran the actual website. So we partnered with her to figure out what technical things are you going to need before they needed them, so that we would have them finished and ready so they could just run and go. And then I worked with the DevOps engineer, who is the most amazing DevOps engineer I've ever met, and taught me so much and was so supportive, and an architect that, again, the best I've ever worked with, and the DBA as well. All of them were so amazing, and we just worked so well together. That was by far my favorite.
Yeah, it would have to be teamwork on your part to be able to manage all the parts and components, is what I like to say, of making that thing do what it's supposed to do. So, Jody, Mindset to Freedom, there is Jody Hudson. That's a really good friend of mine, and she is in job search. And Jody, I could totally see you being a customer liaison, customer support manager, totally, because I know that you've done that in the past and didn't have that title. Angela, you did a really, really good job of opening up a good bag of worms for us to talk about here.
Oh, yes. We love us.
Well, I love it. I'm happy to talk about it anytime. I actually put it on my LinkedIn, like, I have some time if anybody wants to talk or learn about anything agile or product. I really do get passionate about talking about it. It's a lot of fun. I've learned
nerds. It's fine. We're good.
And Mez is a nerd. She, when I first met her, she walks into my HR group back pre-COVID. She walks in our HR group and she says, "I'm a biochemical engineer." Everybody looked at her like,
I had 6 heads or something. Like, you don't look like an engineer. I'm like, hi, nice to meet you. But
yeah, exactly.
But it was amazing. I love my HR group. Shout out to an HR group. But Angela, very important. I know because of this new development, and Daniel will probably back me up on this, and Foster will too. Certifications. Do you have certifications? What are they?
Oh, yeah.
Because unfortunately, pieces of paper do matter to tech industry. So what do you have to show off for glitter and sparkles?
So I received a certification as Scrum Master and certification of Product Owner in 2017 from Scrum Alliance. And they expire every 2 years. I had the opportunity to renew them in 2019, and I've not. They expired in 2021. So being kind of new to the job market, I'm still honestly trying to fill out how important it is for me to renew them with 8 years of experience and an entire organization, agile transformation. I wonder if I kind of go back and forth. I would love to hear Daniel's thoughts on that.
Daniel and Foster, like I'm out of this mood because I have my own opinion. Yep, go for it, boys. Take it over.
And I'm glad you answered it that way too, because I feel the same. So I'll be as quick as I can. I understand from a hiring manager standpoint, at least from wanting the certifications. I used to believe it was because of it showed that you're doing something outside of work, you're trying to better your career and be more process oriented. I think the change now, in my opinion, is I've always leaned on experience trumps either education, certification.
Right.
But I understood that you're going to have a leg up if you have that certification and this person doesn't. So besides that argument, what I've stopped suggesting, at least, is from somebody either that's in a career transition or just getting out of school and feeling like going into a certification is going to get them that job. I've stopped saying as much on, go get that certification because of the financial component on it, and just the maybe the false hope that one has that if once they get that certification, it's going to, they're going to get every single interview and they're ever going to get the first job they apply for. So I understand that we need to get you on the job. So we need to get you a position before anything else. So instead of doing a boot camp or something out here, I would rather focus on getting more interviews and more conversations so you can get that job, because that way you can probably get it paid for once you get that job anyway by the company.
And Daniel, just real quick on that point, if you have somebody fresh, wet behind the ears, out of college, there's a difference between that candidate versus somebody like Angela that has almost to 10 years of experience, right? Like it means more to you, I would think, Foster and Daniel, correct me, that somebody fresh out of college has all the pieces of paper because that's what they did. Like that was what their job basically is, to get educated, versus somebody like Angela, like, okay, she had it, it's expired, life gets in the way, and honestly, her experience can trump, because I remember drinking the Kool-Aid for my PMP, and I had to sleep for a week. I didn't even know my name anymore, and I completely had to retrain.
And I can tell you, if I see a certification on a resume, even if it's expired, it's not like I'm not.
It's not a red flag. It's not like warning.
You still know how to do it. Yeah.
I've never. Exactly. I mean, in my career, I don't think I've ever, besides if we have a client that says they have to have a current certification, I've never looked at a resume and not called somebody because of them not having a certification. Now, if you get
that's good to know. That is really good.
3 months on the job market and there's nothing going on, like maybe, like that's a different conversation. But again, like my number one goal is to get more interviews going, because it's a numbers game at this point, and you don't know who you're going to impress that day. Unfortunately. So
I love your honesty.
As a recruiter, I'm not going to tell you guys how long I've been recruiting, because you'll know I'm from the Mesozoic era. But guys, as a recruiter, and Daniel has seen this, we build different relationships with the actual people that we are serving. Those hiring managers, we are supporting them. Each and every one is different. You're going to have some that are going to put a lot of emphasis on those certifications and things like that, because that might be where they came, how they got their job. They may be focused in on certifications. If you keep your certifications up to date with those hiring managers, with that mindset, methodology of thinking, that is going to carry a lot of weight with those people, because they feel like, well, in 2 years, we all know how quickly technology evolves. Right. In 2 years, there's been some new stuff that's on the market, doing stuff that we wouldn't know how to do before. This product over here does this. But if you have that certification, you're likely going to be up to date on those new changes. Now, you got some hiring managers like Daniel and me. If you ever held that certification, hey, you've got experience in your past that warranted you to go get that certification, and you honed in on what that was. And I like the fact that you guys have to do a 2-year reset, because technology does move fast. And you know what? Nowadays, in 2 years, there's a lot of new stuff that you're going to learn, a lot of new methodology, a lot of new companies, all that stuff.
And Angela, you can tell the company, hey, if you really care about this certification, you pay for it.
Exactly.
That's how I got it renewed the first time.
There you go. There you go.
Guys, companies don't have a problem with that. That's part of the deal. If the company's going to hire you and they need a certain thing done, and it's very important to them, maybe to acquire a client, or maybe to put that marketing team out there to say, hey, this is what we do better than everybody else. Yeah,
exactly.
I'm going to pay. That company, I'm going to pay for Angela to get that. Guys, I want to say this again. We are talking to Angela Terry, Terry. There are a lot of companies, a lot of recruiters that are listening to us right now, and I want to make sure that you guys can find Angela Terry. Oh, that's not hard, y'all.
Oh no, we got the music.
I'm already up to music. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we're up to music, guys. Have an amazing weekend, a blessed weekend. Angela, connect with me. Daniel, connect with me. Foster, love you. Dana, shout out to you. We'll see you guys next week. Okay.
Angela Terry.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
All right. See you next Friday. Maybe, unless you got a job.
Tell us about it anyway.
Too many threats. Listen to me. You don't know me, and you'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581.
Attention all business owners and creative minds. Do you need a unique and personalized touch for your products? Look no further than Romika Laser Engraving and Custom Designs. I'm Ron Phillips, co-owner of Romika Designs. We offer